Merhabalar sevgili izleyiciler. Önümüzde süper bir derbi var. Galatasaray-Fenerbahçe mücadelesi pazar günü oynanacak ve bu süper derbi öncesinde bizim de süper bir konuğumuz var. Fenerbahçe'de 2 sezon forma giymiş ve çok önemli izler bırakmış bir isim konuğumuz Dusan Tadic. Welcome first of all. It's very nice to have you with us. Thank you for accepting to be with us.
Thank you very much.
How are you? How is life going lately? And is everything going well?
Yes, everything is okay. It's nice to be in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
It's a very nice country. Everything is okay.
Okay, with your match schedule and daily routine, are you still be able to follow the Turkish League and Fenerbahce? I actually remember a video of you watching a derby on your phone during a meal, but I still like to hear the answer from you.
Oh, definitely. Always you follow your ex clubs and especially Fenerbahce and the league where you used to play. This is always nice, and yeah, this is normal. We love football, and always we follow football, and especially your ex clubs.
Okay, then I can go with Derby then, because there are only 4 weeks left in the league and Fenerbahce conceded in the 98th minute and drew with Rizespor last week, which made the gap with Galatasaray 4 points. There is a huge derby on Sunday, as I told you before. How important do you think this derby will be?
Yes, I think every derby is very important, and normally at the Galatasaray Stadium we have success, and yeah, I hope will happen also now. The title race is equal, and I think if we manage to win, I think we will be our psychology will be stronger than Galatasaray, but of course will not be easy. It's very difficult match.
And of course, you have played at the highest levels and proved yourself in world football with your football intelligence and class. You are also a leader who can stay calm in the most stressful moments. You showed us this. In your opinion, what must Fenerbahce do in this final 4 stressful weeks to reach the championship?
We always say when is lot of pressure, and this is normal when you play in a club like Fenerbahce. I think you need to have warm heart and calm head. I think this is perfect combination. And I think and I hope that Fenerbahce can do that.
And you once also said, attack together, defend together. We will fight until the end, but we will never die. And the fans made it into a banner, actually. Where did those words come from? And do you think this can also be the motto of the derby?
Definitely, no, these words came naturally, definitely you need to do things together. If you don't do together, you don't have so much opportunity to win the games. And definitely, I'm sure that everyone in Fenerbahce knows that, and I hope they can manage to win game because it will be very, very nice.
It's been 12 years since Fenerbahce hasn't been able to win the trophy. And this year, I wonder what percentage chance do you give Fenerbahce of winning the title? And what do you think the reason is that Fenerbahce hasn't been able to win the trophy for 12 years?
It's difficult to say, the chances, I think in derby always chances is 50-50 because both teams, they are very, very strong with good coaches, with good individual players and also playing good as a team. And yeah, it's difficult to say because Fenerbahce, we didn't win a lot of years. I think this year when we managed to win 99 points, definitely we should be champion. But okay, we cannot look back. We cannot search for excuses and anything. But this is football. You need to manage everything to try to to win a title, you know, and you just need to try to to be patient and to do everything for Fenerbahce. And I hope in future we will have good role winning the titles. And I hope really for that. I think Fenerbahce as a club deserve that.
And how do you rate Fenerbahce's squad this season? And who do you think is the best player, or who the player you admire the most is? Let's ask us like this.
Yeah, I think we have a good team, good players. We invest a lot of money in a lot of good players. Definitely, we bring a lot of great players like that. I don't mention now, like Kante, Asensio, a lot of great players. You know, with a great CV. I'm very happy also that Skriniar is there, that he's captain, and also with some players who is playing now, Osterwolden, and the players who was playing in the past. I think the team is good. Of course, definitely you miss maybe some more puzzles, but now it's difficult to say. I hope that Asensio can play this game because I think he's very important for the team. And let's say, you know, the most important is that they managed to play really strong as a team and to get result, you know.
Yeah, and of course, not signing striker during the transfer window was the topic that was actually, how should I put this, discussed a lot. And do you think Fenerbahce has a problem in finishing? And how did you think not to sign a striker affected the team?
You know, now it's easy to analyze. We didn't sign striker or something like that. You know, it's not easy. You know, like that because we sign also other good players, and I think also Talisca was also doing good as a striker. You know, it's not easy to say in that case. You know, and. It's, you know, I think in end of the season you need to analyze what you should do better and where you can improve, you know, and this is most important, and everyone need to be on the same page to do better for Fenerbahce and to analyze in a good way and what is necessary to what we are missing to be champion, you know.
And how do you evaluate Galatasaray's squad? Who do you think has been their best player and their game, of course?
I think they have a really strong structure. They didn't change coach for a long time. They've been a lot of titles, and definitely then you get a lot of confidence. Also, they add extra quality with really good players like Sane and Gundogan, for example. You know, they have a really good experience and they're great players. And yeah, also Noah Lang also give them a lot of qualities. And you know, they're just adding to their current squad. They're adding extra qualities, and I think also we need to do that in the future. And what I say, you know, let's hope that in next years we can be champion like they did in the row, and that the Fenerbahce domination is coming back.
And let's ask you this as well. Who do you think is going to be the key player of both teams in the derby, or what do you think is going to be the key point?
Yeah, it's difficult to say. I hope all Fenerbahce squad will be the key, you know, because what we say, you know, you need to attack together and to defend together, and I hope they can manage to play together. Also, last time when we won there, we were doing everything as a team, and then in the end, Chalar scored goal. You know, like you don't expect from him to score goal, but he managed to score goal, and this is the product of the team. You know, most important that they play very good and very strong as a team, and this definitely will give them a result.
As you said, you were also on the pitch in Fenerbahce's last derby win away in Galatasaray's home. So how was the emotions back there, and how would you describe that win?
Yeah, it was really emotional game, and there was a lot of things was happening in that moment because we, after 20 or 30 minutes, we stay with 10 men, and this was definitely influence our game, and was not easy. We have also a lot of things in that game was happening, but we managed to win together. We were even fighting more when we know we stay with 10 men, and then we get our reward because we were really doing everything as a team. This is crucial. I believe in the players. They need to take responsibility. They need to know what Fenerbahce is representing. You need to have strong personality, strong leadership, and that's it. Everyone together to victory.
Yes, and I also would like to know your opinions on Tedesco's management. How do you rate it?
No, I think he gave a lot of good things, good energy and everything. He's young coach, but still with a lot of experience. And yeah, it's not easy to be coach of Fenerbahce. And that's it. I hope he can win the prizes. With Fenerbahce because I think he has potential for that. And in Fenerbahce, you need to do that. And I hope he can do it.
And you mentioned actually, but I just want to go into it a little bit more because Okan Buruk is aiming to win the title 4 years in a row, and now currently has a significant advantage in Galatasaray in the driver's seat. So, how would you assess Okan Buruk as a coach?
Oh, definitely, he knows that what that club represent. He knows the club. This is very important. He knows the club. He knows the players. He knows the league. This is crucial. And that's it. This is also good that when you are winning, they are not changing the coach, and then they manage to win. Of course, I hope that we can break that and. To make it more difficult for Galatasaray. And then what I say, that Fenerbahce is getting that role in victories and winning the titles because this is what Fenerbahce is missing and what is necessary for Fenerbahce.
And you played for Fenerbahce for 2 seasons. In your opinion, what has been the main reason why Fenerbahce have fallen behind Galatasaray? And what is the easiest thing to play in Fenerbahce? And what is the hardest thing for playing for Fenerbahce?
Yeah, like when you represent such a big club, 30, 35 million fans, and you see how is important that club for the people, you know where you come, and how many great players with great history, fans, incredible, you know how important is and that you need to be really responsible and every day to try to do better and the best things for the club. This is crucial, and what I say, I think you need really to care about that club. You connect immediately with the club, and you need to have really strong personality because sometimes it's not necessary that you are a good or great player. You need to have strong personality because playing in big clubs is totally different than playing in some smaller clubs. And Fenerbahce is really specific, and yeah, and it's really nice and special to play there. It's a great experience. When you are in front of that fans, you get extra energy. And what I say, you just need to have personality for playing for big clubs. This is crucial, I think.
Yeah, and you have goals and assists against Beşiktaş and Trabzonspor, but not against Galatasaray. Is there any difference between playing against Galatasaray and playing against Beşiktaş or Trabzonspor? If yes, what is the difference?
No, actually, all derby matches there were really, really special. You could see that also against Trabzon and Beşiktaş and Galatasaray, everyone really care. They care even more. But also, what I say, in let's say smaller games, also they're crucial. And also the fans was always supporting us really well. And every game in Fenerbahce is. It's really important because in the end, these small games will make you champion.
And what was your most unforgettable derby game and your most unforgettable match in Fenerbahce jersey?
Definitely that game against Galatasaray away when we won. I think was really special because everything what happened was really like, you know what I say, we stay with 10 men, a lot of emotion, lot of things. I think was very nice. This is maybe one of the most nicest. Also against Trabzonspor away when happened that fight, and
Yeah.
was really nice and was really excited match. You know.
Yes, it's an unforgettable match for all, that's for sure. And who was the
Yes.
teammates you got along with best, both on and off the pitch at Fenerbahce?
I really, from first day, I connect very well, you know, with everyone. You know, of course, I was very close to Balkan players like with Edin, with Livakovic, with Zajic, after also with Krunic, but also with the Turkish players, with Mert, with Irfan, with all of them, with Chala, with Cengel, with all of them. You know, I think we have really good group, really good connection, and also with young players, not young but okay, with Zimanski, with Ferdi, with Osterwolde, and also with Fred, with all of them. You know, we have really good and strong relationship. I think this was nice. Definitely, I'm very happy that I'm seeing Ferdi playing really on a
Yeah, he
high
scored a goal
level because
yesterday. The first goal
yes,
against
yes,
Chelsea. Yeah.
yes, I'm really happy for him because he has really big talent and he's a great player. And I'm happy to see him in Premier League doing great because this was an extra step for him. And I'm happy to see that, you know.
How do you keep your mentality strong, Dusan? Because I think it is your most specific, one of your most specific specialties. So, and what would you recommend to the players that are playing those derby games and those important matches with Fenerbahce or Galatasaray jerseys on them?
I believe, you know, the character and mentality is everything in the life, you know, everything what you are doing, you need to do with certain power, with certain mentality and with character, you know, and without that, we are nothing, you know, and yeah, what I say, you know, in that kind of games, you just need to be calm, you just need to enjoy, and that's it, you know, then everything will come on the place. And that's it. What I say, you know, when you play in a big club, you need to have big personality, and you need to do everything for your club to win. And that's it. You know, you need to when you need to suffer, you suffer. You know, when you need to score goal, you score goal. When you need to make assist, you make assist. Sometimes it's not about that. It's about your team. You know, you need to do everything for your team.
And you spent 2 years here in Istanbul, in Turkey. What was the thing you enjoyed the most, and what was the thing that you didn't like at all?
Yeah, I enjoy playing in front of our fans because this is really special. Everywhere where we go, our fans was waiting for us, and it's really special feeling because every time when you go out on a stadium or also you go away on airport or wherever we go, our fans was there, you know, and then you see how club is important for a lot of people, you know. Also when we go away playing European matches, you see so many fans. It's a really nice feeling, you know. It's really special, and I always recommend a lot of players when they ask me. Definitely, they should go in Fenerbahce to play because it's really special. You know, of course, what I say, you know, you have pressure, but this is the nice pressure because I always say pressure is privilege. You know, when you have that pressure, you are privileged to have that. You know, and you just need to deal with that in a good way.
Actually, I was talking about more like, for example, meals or the views or the, your time in Istanbul actually. Not with Fenerbahce, but mostly your life routines.
No, but life is great, you know. But you know, we are there. We should not lose the focus from main
Uh-huh.
thing. Our main thing is football, you know.
Yeah,
And
of
and for
course.
example, if you don't win the game, you don't go out. You know, you don't
Yeah.
want to go nowhere. You know, And of course, when you win, you are more happy, you're more satisfied. You can go out for lunch or dinner and something like that. And definitely Istanbul is a great city. Okay, it's a lot of traffic, but I think it's really beautiful city and a really traditional city. And all people in Europe, I think they really enjoy in Istanbul, you know.
Yeah, I knew that you were going to say traffic in your in your sentence, to be honest. Okay, and do you have a message for Fenerbahce fans?
No, just to support the team like they always do, and that's it. You know, to be united because I think this is crucial thing. You know, everyone need to be united. Everyone need to victory. Everyone need to do everything for victory, and the connection with the fans is very important to support players and to do everything for victory.
Do you receive messages? I mean, still receive messages from Fenerbahce fans?
Yeah, I'm not checking so much my Instagram, but definitely, you know, sometimes
Yeah.
I don't know how they reach my phone, but also they get.
Okay, and finally, I would like to get your score prediction, dear Dusan Tadic.
It's difficult to say, you know, and but
It's just a
I
prediction.
hope I hope 1-2 for us.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
accepting
You're
our offer.
welcome.
And
You're
hope to see you
welcome.
soon around in Istanbul.
Okay, thank you. Also, all the
Thank you.
best. Bye.
Evet sevgili izleyiciler, bu süper derbi öncesinde bu önemli mücadele evvelinde Dusan Tadic bizimle birlikteydi. Fenerbahçe'de oynadığı süre boyunca hem oynadığı futbolla hem de sahada sergilediği karakterle, liderliğiyle herkesin kalbinde yer etmiş bir isim oldu Fenerbahçe camiasında Dusan Tadic ve henüz geçtiğimiz sezon buradaydı aslında. Bu sezon bu önemli derbi öncesinde onun bu karşılaşma ile ilgili ve genel Fenerbahçe'de oynadığı dönemle ilgili fikirlerini aldık, düşüncelerini aldık ve yayınımızı da noktalama vaktimiz geldi. Yeniden özel röportajlarda görüşünceye dek hoşçakalın.